Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into something today that is a massive, honestly mind boggling paradox. It trips up millions of people, and it all starts with this one brutal truth. You do not need to be bad at math to completely and utterly destroy your wealth. Actually, scratch that. Some of the smartest math geniuses out there fail miserably at building wealth. We're conditioned to think that building wealth is all about crunching numbers, optimizing those spreadsheets, calculating yields, and having this perfect grasp of economic theory. But as we're going to see in the source material we're looking at today, the reality of money, it's entirely different. The exact skills that make you brilliant in a boardroom or a lab just don't automatically translate to a healthy bank account.
Section 1. The Intelligence Trap. Smart people, bad choices.
So why do smart people destroy their wealth? I mean, we see this all the time, right? Just think about it. You've got the brilliant surgeon who operates with literal pinpoint precision, but they're drowning in high-interest consumer debt. Or, a top-tier software engineer pulling in a massive salary, but living completely paycheck to paycheck. You can have a sky-high income, you can hold an advanced university degree, you can have a hugely successful, prestigious career, and literally be the smartest person in the room in your professional life. And yet, you can still make decisions that absolutely devastate your personal wealth. The correlation between traditional book smarts and financial success is far, far weaker than society leads us to believe, which brings us right to the core thesis of our explainer today.
Here's the thing. Money isn't just math. It's profoundly human. It's psychology. The forces actually controlling your daily financial decisions, they aren't formulas or calculators. They're invisible, deeply ingrained psychological forces. We're talking about fear, greed, FOMO, that intense fear of missing out, overconfidence, the desperate, burning desire for instant gratification, the heavy weight of social pressure. These invisible forces pull the strings on what we do with our money every single day, and it usually happens totally under the radar of our logical, rational brains. I mean, you could have the absolute greatest financial plan ever written, but if you don't understand the psychology behind your own decisions, that plan is going to fall apart the very second things get a little uncomfortable. Section 2, the emotional roller coaster. Panic and greed. Okay, let's walk through a super stressful but incredibly relatable scenario from the source material. Picture this. Step 1, an investment suddenly shoots up 40% out of nowhere. Everyone is talking about it. Step 2, your friends are bragging. Your social media is just flooded with screenshots of massive, life-changing profits. FOMO hits you, and it hits hard. The pressure is building. You just have to get in. Step 3, you buy in. You finally pull the trigger. But then, step 4, the market falls. The momentum just totally breaks. Pure fear takes over. You're losing money. The panic sets in deep. So step 5, you sell. You just want to stop the bleeding, get out, and save whatever you can. And then, step 6, the price recovers, the market stabilizes. And that whole exhausting cycle, it just repeats itself all over again. Now, what's really interesting here is that chaotic cycle we just walked through. That's the trap of emotional decision-making. It's basically the act of buying purely out of excitement and selling completely out of fear. This exact loop is one of the most common psychological problems in investing, and it will seriously, seriously damage your long-term financial outcomes. Because when you're caught up in this, you aren't operating on logic anymore. You're letting adrenaline and cortisol dictate your asset allocation. You're essentially letting your primal caveman survival instincts run your retirement account. And honestly, that is a guaranteed recipe for financial disaster. But, the active panic of the market is really just one side of the coin. Section 3, invisible wealth destroyers. Passive wealth drains. Let's hold up a mirror for a second to a trap that almost everyone falls into: lifestyle inflation. This is where your income goes up, but your actual financial freedom barely budges. Say you get a well-deserved raise at work. Awesome, right? But instead of taking that extra income and investing it toward your future freedom, what usually happens? Well, you upgrade to a luxury car. You move into a slightly nicer apartment with higher rent. You book fancier vacations. Oh, and you add 3 more monthly streaming subscriptions that you completely forget to even watch. The money comes in, and the money flows right back out to support this newly elevated lifestyle. Sure, your income definitely went up, but your actual net worth and your proximity to true financial independence remain entirely stagnant. It's like you're running faster and faster, but you're staying in the exact same place. This lifestyle creep feeds into a really powerful psychological phenomenon called present bias. Think about saving $500 today. Honestly, that can feel pretty painful. It feels like a sacrifice, kind of like you're depriving yourself of something you deserve right now. But spending $500 today, oh, that feels exciting. You get this immediate rush, a quick dopamine hit from a brand new purchase. Our brains are biologically hardwired to value immediate rewards way more heavily than future benefits. But here is the devastating cost of that present bias. The future value of that $500 could be dramatically different if it were invested and allowed to compound for decades. That temporary excitement today is literally robbing your future self of massive compounding interest. You're trading long-term security for a fleeting moment of gratification. Section 4, the highlight reel, social comparison. We all suffer terribly from social comparison, and it completely skews our perception of what actual wealth looks like. We see the highlight reel. You see a neighbor driving a brand new luxury car, or a friend posting these incredibly expensive tropical vacation photos on your social feed, and your brain instantly assumes they must be wealthy. But what we rarely get to see is the hidden reality, the balance sheet. What you don't see is the massive high-interest financing on that luxury car. You don't see the crippling credit card balance that's paying for those aesthetic vacation photos. The truth is, outward appearances so often hide massive debt. By trying to keep up with the spending habits of the people around you, you're comparing your messy, behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highly curated, heavily financed highlight reel. It is a game you just cannot win. Section 5. Rules to protect your wealth. The power of boring. So, how do we actually fix this? Well, it involves reframing the whole concept of being boring. Boring is actually your ultimate financial superpower. Financially intelligent behavior requires systematic rules because that takes the emotion entirely out of the equation. First, automate your investments so you don't even have to think about them. The money just grows in the background while you go live your life. Next, build up emergency savings so a sudden panic doesn't dictate your choices when a crisis hits. Avoid unnecessary high-interest debt that just anchors you to the past. Diversify your holdings to mitigate risk. Completely ignore the short-term noise and chatter of the daily market. And most importantly, create absolute rules to protect yourself from your own emotional impulses. Now, the goal here isn't to become some kind of cold, emotionless robot. You're human. You're going to feel fear and excitement. The goal is simply to establish strong systems that stop those emotions from driving the car and making your financial decisions for you.
Which leaves us with this final, really striking thought from the source material. The biggest threat to your wealth might not be the economy. It might be you. The markets are going to go up and down, economies will expand and contract, new trends are going to come and go, but the ultimate deciding factor in your financial success isn't just your knowledge of those markets. It's your behavior. It's how you react when everyone else is panicking and how you hold back when everyone else is getting greedy. Once you master your own psychology, you master your wealth.